research curator. The aim of my job is to retrace as many works of art as possible which were once part of the Horace Walpole collection, which was eventually dispersed in 1842, so in the middle of the 19th century. Horace Walpole was many different things. He's a very famous writer, especially he was also the first English art historian. Is often referred as to the first British Vasari, because he wrote the first book about the British art history. He was the first in England to propose, in terms of decorative patterns, the Gothic as a model. For instance, he went to St. Paul Cathedral or Westminster in order to copy and to find suitable patterns in order to decorate this house. Horace Walpole was also a very important novelist. He conceived in this house the famous Gothic novel titled The Castle of Otranto. And what is even more interesting is the fact that Horace Walpole actually printed his book in Strawberry Hill. In fact, he founded the Strawberry Hill printing house in around the 1760s. Not only the Castle of Otranto was printed in Strawberry Hill, but also many essays and books like Anecdotes of Painting in England, which is the first book ever written on the British art history, was printed in this house in Strawberry Hill. Horace Walpole started his collecting activity in 1739 when he did his grand tour. So you see how important was the Italian network, the Italian connections for Horace Walpole, and how was disseminated of works of art from Italy, especially paintings like 16th century, 17th century paintings, so very much in Guido Reni, the Baroque style, but also and especially the decorative arts were very important, so pietre-dure caskets or little ebony furniture, chairs and other little statues like bronzes or ivories, all from Italy. So you can appreciate how important the Italian element was in this house. And Horace Walpole loved Italy. All the house was in a very analytical way examined, and then eventually the parts which we didn't know about were reconstructed following exactly the remains, the records we found. What is really amazing about Strawberry Hill, and I think is the aspect that really it's probably most shocking for an Italian audience or public, is the colors. It's a very colorful house, and this is very much in the English taste, but it's true that in Strawberry Hill these colors are extremely powerful. Like for example this blue bedchamber, the blue is so light, so strong, and all the house, all the rooms are characterized by these very strong colors. Also the wallpapers. The difference between Italian restoration and English restoration is true that in Italy, when we talk about a philological restoration, you preserve what is old, and then when you have to add something, you make it clear that the new element is new by using contemporary materials or by stressing the difference. In the case of Strawberry Hill, the approach is a little bit different, to bring the house back to the time when Horace Walpole was living there. And so there is not, for the public it's not easy to understand what is new and what is old. And the final perception is of a house that is very new, very colorful, very bright. But it is the garden itself. The modern English garden is a place of experience. You have to go through the garden in order to discover it. Strawberry Hill and Horace Walpole House and Collection was very much the same thing. Strawberry Hill was an experience. Horace Walpole asked you to go through all these rooms. Visiting Strawberry Hill was really an experience, a tactile, a sensorial experience through a collection and a house.